hang on to your seat, baby, because this one's a screamer.
What is going on, entertainment? So time come to y'all with another video. We're doing a Hollywood Hot Topics. You already know what to do. Smash that like button, hype up the video. Let me know what y'all think down below. It's a lot and quite a bit to get into. Okay, first, let's talk about Dr. Cheyenne. Okay, Cheyenne. A lot of you guys, you know, were introduced to her through like social media and all that. I was introduced to this lady through Basketball Wives, and I took a liking to this lady. I felt like she was very intelligent. She was not scared of the girls. She stood up for herself, and she did it while being extremely gorgeous. I don't care what y'all say. Dr. Cheyenne is the bomb.com. She looks amazing. But the problem is her name, the doctor part specifically. Apparently, y'all, she does not have a doctorate degree, but she goes by the name Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. That in itself is problematic. People that do stuff like this, I automatically question who you are as a person and the things that you say, and if you are truthful or not. I'm sorry, because you should not be using a DR if you are not a doctor. I have friends. I recently just had a friend. Okay. Shout out to Ezzy. He's African. He just graduated and got his doctorate. Like, it's nothing easy. So it's like when I be seeing people do stuff like that, it low-key bothers me because I've seen people that have went and actually got a doctorate, and it takes so much time and it's hard, and it literally takes you having to block out all of the distractions and focus in to be able to achieve that doctorate degree. So I just don't appreciate her going around saying she's Dr. Cheyenne and she's not providing proof of a doctorate receipt. She's been on plenty of platforms. She's been on Shannon Sharpe's platform. She's been on Breakfast Club. And Breakfast Club was one of the most recent interviews where she was defending the fact of this doctorate degree that is not being shown. Like, I'm all for Black women being extremely accomplished and all that, but do not be accomplished and give across like an image that you've achieved something that you haven't. That's like me coming on here and saying that I've earned my degree in nursing. Like, I haven't. I low-key wish I did, though. No shade. But you know what I'm saying? Like, that would be a farce. I would be lying. I don't like people that do stuff like that because it's like I'm gonna question everything you say. This is why we need Wendy Williams still alive in that purple chair, because God forbid she had went and interviewed with the Wendy Williams would have laid her to the ground. She recently did an interview with DC Fox, where DC Fox 5, where she was asked about why did she not drop the doctor from her name so that way she would not have as much of backlash as she's been getting as of recent. Now, she didn't really answer this directly. She kind of said, oh, she stated what she stated before, which we're going to get into, and basically told her to leave it right there.
Provide the proof of your degree. Why not?
Well, a couple of things, right? I have multiple degrees, and my thing is that my proof isn't something that I have to prove to individuals. My proof is already within my credentials, my degrees, and also more than just my titles, it's in how effective I've been. All of my sessions have been live for the most part. My sessions with Nick Cannon, Cam Newton, Shannon Sharpe.
Live, Cheyenne, or lies? And it hurts me to do this because I actually like this lady. I'm telling y'all, Jackie, I said, see, it's the spirit of lying. You hear me? I almost called Jackie Dr. Jackie from Basketball Wives, and we know that's not a doctor. Okay, Jackie Christie brought her on as a friend, and I'm telling you, I really liked her as a character.
B. Simone, they have all been for the world to see. Right? So no one knew who Dr. Bryant was prior to seeing all of my sessions that were live. And they deemed it, as well as I did before they did it, they can't validate me, I validated myself. They deemed it as my work being effective. I am effective at what I do. I'm educated and I'm successful in my lane. And I'll land on this. I created my own lane. And so a lot of times, Marissa, when people say that you created something that maybe they couldn't admiration turns into envy. And you got to be okay.
I
and
see
you got to
that
be okay
view
with
it,
that
yeah,
in that
as an
space.
attack.
Yeah.
But I think, and I've gotten this question from many viewers,
Yeah.
and I owe it to them
You
in
do.
service to them.
Absolutely.
Why not drop doctor from your name if you
Well,
cannot bring forth that doctoral degree?
So I've already covered this, right? And we're here obviously to talk about my new book. So I've earned the title. I have multiple degrees, and I'm not going to prove anything to anybody. And we're going to leave it just as that. Yeah.
Dr. Cheyenne Bryant.
Baby, Dr. Cheyenne Bryant.
And that's where, and you're staying.
If this isn't the shadiest thing ever, I don't know what is. Y'all see how she didn't hit it with the high five, she hit it with the low five. Give me 10 at the bottom, okay? She didn't even give it with the high five, all right? I just think that Dr. Cheyenne really needs to prove herself if this degree is actually true, because if not, she will not. I feel like this is what the press is going to start doing. She will not be invited to do these press runs and promote her book and promote any business ventures that she is going to be working on, because she's going to be proven as non-credible. So she needs to be able to prove that she has this doctorate degree, or else she's going to look foolish. Okay. And I feel like these media outlets are going to all band together and refuse to accept her in to do interviews, press, or whatever, because they're gonna want proof before doing so, because they're not gonna want to interview somebody named Doctor something and they ain't even a doctor. It's giving Real Housewives of Atlanta, Dr. Love. We need to talk about, like, when somebody's a doctor, you have to know what they're a doctor in. Like, just because somebody's a doctor doesn't mean they're a doctor in all fields. They can be a doctor in psychology, a doctor in mental health, a doctor in, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's certain fields that people can be doctors of. So just because they use that doctor before their name doesn't mean they're licensed in the area that they're speaking on. So I feel like a lot of people kind of get that misconstrued, and that's like things that people need to check when you're being spoken to by somebody as a doctor, that you're being coached or helped with something on. You need to ask them those things to get that clarified. What are they what do they have their doctorate in? Like, what field is it in? Because people just automatically assume that they're a doctorate of it all. Like, no, it doesn't work like that. So I feel like that's something important that needs to be talked about in this whole situation, because she probably has a doctorate in a certain degree, but for what she's doing and what she's coaching and having live sessions about, she probably does not have a doctorate in that. So that's where the issue in lies. So it's like based on the technicality. And that's why a lot of people, I feel like, are calling her out. Now, Dr. Cheyenne needs to be very careful. Okay. I'm gonna tell you 2 names why you need to be very careful. Stormy Wellington. 1. 2. Dr. Wendy Osefo. You need to be very careful. Now, Dr. Wendy Osefo, her degrees are legitimate. We're not questioning the validity of her degrees, but it's the fact that we found out that she, at one point, allegedly participated in somewhat of an amount of fraud in regards to her mortgage. Now, Stormy, that's another one. She turned out to be a little bit fraudulent and was very popular online. The last thing Dr. Cheyenne needs right now is people reporting her that have been under her care in regards to mental health. And what to me is the most dangerous is the fact that she talks about, in Joe Budden's podcast, she was talking about how she um diagnoses people. So I'm like, wait, what? You cannot be diagnosing people. You're not licensed. Like, wait, what? That to me is where the trouble lies. Because if you're diagnosing people, and sometimes if somebody's diagnosed, especially when it comes to mental health, they're going to have to be sometimes prescribed a certain medication. So what the heck do you have any business doing that if you are not licensed in doing that? And also, at Club Shay Shay, she says she has 6 degrees, 3 doctorates. Man, listen. I don't know about you, but when did you have time to go get 3 doctorates? Unless you feel me, you're pushing up there in age. Dr. Shy, you are not that old baby. Najee. Okay? You ain't no spring chicken, but you ain't no old hen. Okay? You're in the middle. Ain't no way you ended up getting 3 doctorates. I refuse to believe it. I just feel like this could really land her some legal trouble. That's why I even brought up the whole Stormy and the whole Wendy situation. It's like we've seen cases like this happen time and time again where somebody is going around on these media press tours and they're financially gaining from certain things that they're doing online and that they're pushing online. And then it turns out a little bit after that they're fraudulent, they're doing all these things, they're getting in trouble, they're getting sued, they might go to jail. So it's just like I see this heading down the same path, and she needs to be very careful of the stuff that she's saying and doing. And to be honest, talking so deeply about this and this degree situation, I know that sometimes you can't prevent what you're asked, but in the situation that Dr. Cheyenne is in, she might need to put that when she's booking these interviews that, ma'am, you cannot ask me these questions about my degree and the validity of my degree because people are going to start digging, which they already have. Y'all could go all over TikTok and see it. That damn Dr. Cheyenne is like a trending topic, babes. They are digging deep. The school from where the doctorate was achieved from, at least one of them, closed down. Now somebody went, this is what she claims on the Breakfast Club. Somebody went and they graduated recently from it, and they were able to obtain proof of their doctorate. Little stuff like that. It comes across very fraudulent. What Dr. Cheyenne is doing with this degree and not showing the proof, it's given when you apply for a job and you put on your resume a job that closed down. You feel me? Like you worked for what company? Oh yeah, you work for Spirit. You feel me? You work for Sears. You know what I'm saying? Like all the girlies that shut down. I think Party City shut down a little bit ago, didn't they? Party City. Like you feel me? You put all the companies that are no longer so that the girls couldn't prove it. I don't know. I feel like she just needs to be careful. I do like her as a person. I just don't agree with the things that she's doing if she is not actually accredited because it's dangerous, especially dealing with people and things of mental health. That's not okay to me because as somebody who's dealt with that in their family, it is nothing to play with. It is very serious. It is one of the most stressful things you could deal with besides somebody dealing with addiction. I'm telling you, okay? Let me know what y'all think down below about that one. And what do y'all think about Cheyenne? All right, so Cardi B was recently caught out arguing with Stefan. It was around Mother's Day weekend. Somebody recorded it and sold it to TMZ. I cannot wait till one day I'm able to record something and sell it. You know what I'm saying? Like I know whoever does those and gets to be able to do that, like they have a good day because you know they get a little check for that. You know what I'm saying? She tweeted, she said, sometimes I forget I'm a celebrity. Damn, y'all ain't ever cuss y'all out when y'all hungry. Okay. Their relationship to me always looks a little stressed out. Well, Cardi always looks a little stressed out when it comes to a lot of dudes that she deals with. This to me does not help the image that's put out about them. I do feel like though, we cannot sit here and act like everybody's in a perfect relationship. The people that are in one. People argue, people get into it. Okay. Publicly, some of us don't do as much as she would do out there. But Cardi never minded. So this is why it didn't come as a surprise to me when this video did drop. And there was even screenshots and pictures of them after that part of that video that they were in arguing of them laughing and talking. So if it was over a girl, it couldn't have been that serious because they were giggling at each other's face right after. And if Cardi loves it, what the heck can we do about it? You know what I'm saying? Now, Tia Kemp has recently made a bold statement and says that dudes that enjoy play down there are girls. Okay, I'm not gonna play it due to the nature of the video, but she sounded like Riley from the Boondocks and was basically talking about every nigga that like they lit by a woman, they gay. Okay, she went on and on and on. Said if you like to be Peggy, okay, if you like Mrs. Peggy, that you're one of the girls. She went on a tangent. I know I go back and forth with this, but y'all, I agree with her. I'm sorry. I said this on a Blueface interview recap with Jason Lee. I believe this. I apologize, y'all. Actually, I don't, because who am I saying sorry for? I believe it. Okay. I just feel like if you are a straight male, right? And then like you like the sensation down there, other sensations too will not feel as bad. Because it goes from the tongue to a finger to, we dealing with toys and then other things. So it's just like, it's not far-fetched. Does it make you less of a man if you like those things? No. But of course, do I think it still keeps you straight? No. You like other things and it's okay. That's the problem. A lot of people are very close-minded when it comes to those things and when it comes to sexuality in general. So that's why a lot of people stay closeted. Okay? Because just because of a dude is interested in all of those things, they shouldn't be shamed in it. Okay? Now, should their sexuality, do I think it should be questioned completely? A little bit, yes, because it does to me, it would open up my brain if I were a woman, like, oh wow, like you like that sensation, you like that type of thing. So it's like, let's say if I was not available to do it, if somebody else of a different sex was able to do it, would you be interested in them doing it as well? Because it's not going to be a huge amount of a difference. It's just going to be another sex. That's just how I feel. Okay. A lot of people do not agree with me. They feel as if let people do what they do in the bedroom don't mean they gay or straight or whatever. But I've seen and heard a lot of things that some of y'all have not. So that's all I'm gonna say. Back to Cardi like things, y'all. I don't know about you guys, but Chef Mila is my new obsession. She was really that girl, okay? She recently uploaded a video of her cooking, a montage of her cooking, well, doing anything else but cooking. She was more so enticing. Rock the boat, cook the food, shake the cakes, shake the middle, ride the rhythm. When you shake the rhythm, screw her baby daddy, screw her baby daddy, screw her baby daddy, her baby daddy. Okay, let me tell y'all something. No wonder Mr. Diggs was digging up in there. She got big Debbie cakes, and they're nice cakes, okay? Let me tell y'all something. Mila trying to gain another client. And I live for it, okay? Mila is trying to keep food on their table, baby, and she trying to put food on y'all table. So any potentials, please hit my girl Mila up, okay? Because sis is looking for a job. Y'all know how LinkedIn, you could put open for work. Well, this is her Instagram version of open for work, okay? She is looking for employment, and we need to give it to her, okay? So the only type of client she will take, you have to be making more than 6 figures. You have to have an open room for her, 10-inch D, and a big wallet. Big wallet. Okay. I just couldn't believe that montage. You know what I thought? Because you know how the internet y'all plays a lot of tricks on us. So I thought it was an old video that people kind of conjured up or made their own compilation. Nah, Miss Mila uploaded this herself in 4K, baby. Move the rhythm, shake a rhythm, make it suda middle. Okay, doing anything but cooking. All right, y'all. I don't know why I live. I live for Mila a little bit low key. Shut trifling ass. All right. Anyways, y'all. All right, so Kandi recently did an interview and she talked about how she feels as if she has not fully healed from the situation and her divorce with Todd. She got up very emotional in this interview as she started to describe the healing process.
Made me cry. Where's my tissue? How does anybody navigate?
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, you're fine.
Wait. Bring it together. Ooh. Okay, I'm listening.
No, I'm just saying, I just hope that you're taking time, out for yourself. Because you wear so many hats and do a lot.
I stay busy. Can we wait, give me 2 seconds before I start. Now, I mean, if y'all ain't heard, I got divorced recently after 12 years of marriage. It was 2.5 years now. So like we was together like 15 years.
How have you been able to?
This makes me so sad. Y'all know how much I love Kandi. And I admire her career just in general and her hustle. This should be used though as a prime example for women on what not to do when they reach a point of success. Because I feel like Candy's biggest mistake in her relationship with Todd is the whole allowing threesome situation. I feel like it doesn't work for everybody. It may work for some, such as a Ti and Tiny, but it does not work for everybody. Okay. And I think the reason why it worked for a Ti and Tiny is because both of them are somewhat established people. Both have a name. Tiny comes from a big girl group. She's very successful, very musically talented. She birthed literally one of the OMG girls. Like she has, you feel me? Like her genes is talent, right? Ti, famous rapper, has his own name, hugely successful. Both come together. Them doing and having their fun, although it landed them in some legal trouble with those allegations made against them, it worked for them because I feel like they were evenly yoked as who they were as people, meaning both of them can hold their own weight financially and who they are as people. Todd and Kandi is not the same thing to me. Todd, in my opinion, was made by Kandi in regards to career wise. Had it not been for Kandi, a lot of the stuff that Todd achieved, he would not be able to do. I'm sorry. I don't care what you say. I don't care about the connects he had. Guess what? Being with Kandi put him at a whole nother stratosphere that he was able to accomplish a lot more business endeavors. Had it not been for Kandi, he would not have been able to achieve it, at least that not that easily. Now he is a nigga from New York, so he probably would have been able to what what Natalie said, Todd knows how to swerve. Todd knows how to swerve. Okay, he knows how to maneuver, right? He would know how to maneuver and swerve. Todd knows how to what? Todd knows how to swerve, okay? Only Housewives fans would know this, right? So him swerving, he would have been able to swerve in certain ways, but he would not reach the peak of success that he did being with Kandi. I don't care what nobody says. And what bothers me with this whole betrayal and them divorcing is because Kandi went through so much dealing with her family, especially Mama Joyce, telling her you should not be with him, telling her you need to not get married to him. I don't want you to marry. That's what the auntie said. And then you're gonna turn around and do something like this. I don't know. It's just like he's really a piece of crap. Now she had went on record saying the reason why she didn't just leave him because he cheated, because she said she would have been able to get over that. She said the reason why is because he started to get disrespectful. I said, oh, now you was a really bold garden gnome for something like that. Not only you cheated, you started getting disrespectful. Now that's the part that really bothered me, because it's one thing to cheat on her like that, but apparently he started to be bold about it, and she didn't appreciate that because she like, your garden gnome ass was a nobody when I met your ass, and I gave you a chance, and you're gonna switch up on me. This is why I really do believe, like, I've never been against women who date above their pay grade or equal to their pay grade. I don't feel nothing is wrong with that. I could never shame a woman for going for somebody that makes more than them substantially, or makes just as much as them, maybe a little bit more. Like, I feel like that's not wrong, because you're more likely in my opinion, have more of a success rate than somebody lower than you, because once you get with that person that is not financially yoked with you and you build them up, especially in a celebrity aspect, they 9 times out of 10 they do end up getting bold. They do. We've seen this happen numerous times where a girl gets with a dude that's really, ain't got no name like that. The guy ends up getting a name and he leave her for dead. We've seen this happen so many times. But Kandi still needs to take accountability for this, because you should not have opened up that third door. Okay? You should not have opened up that third door. Apparently the girl that they were dealing with was a friend of both of theirs or something like that. So it gets tricky. Okay? Me, I'm selfish. Ain't no polygamy, nothing. Ain't no threesome or nothing is you talking about. Please. Okay? The only way I would even be slightly okay with something like that is if we were literally out of the country on vacation somewhere. That's the only way. Besides that, hell no. Like, what? I don't know. It's a no. It's a no. And I wish you would go back on Housewives, because I really would love to hear what Mama Joyce has to say, as messy as that is, because I just know she has a lot of things to say in regards to this whole situation. She like, I told Kandi he needs to move out the guest house. Okay? He over here funking up the guest house, not even talking to Riley. You know, he don't even call Riley. And you sitting in my daughter's house? Man, if you don't get on. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want to hear what Mama Joyce got to say. I want to hear what Mama Joyce got to say. I really do. Okay? Now, back to this whole Julio Foolio trial. You know what's crazy? I'm kind of glad Julio Foolio trial is playing out the way that it is, because it shows the young youth, the gangbangers, the ones that would love to do their big ones out in the streets, where it could land you. Okay? Crying on the stand. Because another person that was involved in the execution, because it was an execution, y'all. They done shot up that man's car by like more than 30 times. Okay. The execution of Foolio, all right, Rashad Murphy, he ended up starting to cry because his adoptive mother ended up making a statement about who he is as a person, which then ended up making him very emotional. He started to tear up, but unlike Mr. Lightbright, he didn't show his face. Okay, he couldn't withstand to show all of America, because he knows all of America's watching him crying. She talks about him being like a boxing champ as when he was younger, and the things that he would get into and everything.
Become aware of some activities that Rashad was involved in, sports, boxing, things of that nature?
Yes.
What do you know about that?
He was involved with boxing. He actually, and you all could look that up, he was the foster mom that he ended up with, Miss Dallas. He did boxing matches, and he was the champion for his age group. That's why I think the age 9 or 10 sticks out, because he was very young, but he was good. And he made it. He made it. He was the champion for that state in his age group, whatever she had in.
Now have you had the opportunity to observe Rashad as a father?
Yes.
What kind of father have you observed him to be?
He's an excellent dad. He's overprotective, I know that, of his kids, based on what he's been through. Very overprotective. He, as far as the boys, he loved to have them in sports. The girls, of course, he doped with them, with his siblings. Definitely, they came first after those kids, or maybe alongside his kids. And when their mom.
Now, what bothers me out of all of the people that were a part of his execution is the one with children. It's one thing if you ain't got no kids and you run up the streets. That's one thing. When you got kids and you run up the street, it just don't compute to me, because you're just a selfish muffer. Like, you just selfish as all hell. Like, you gonna ruin your life, but you ruining your kids' life at that, because now they ain't gonna have no daddy. They're gonna be able to visit you if you don't get the death sentence. Okay. But a lot of people don't understand how death row works. Like, it's not like they're gonna kill him like next year. Like, child, they've been people on death row for decades, child. To be honest, especially in this government that we in now, I don't see them executing them anytime soon if they do get the death penalty. So, with that being said, you're still taking away their dad, and you're not giving them the opportunity to have a dad in their life. And that to me is the saddest thing of it all, because you don't unalive somebody and then you just took a dad away from a kid by doing what you just did. I just don't get it. I don't get it. What happened to the days of just robbing somebody? You know what I mean? Like, we just gotta execute now at this point. It's just execution. I'm telling y'all, the only person in all of this whole scenario that it makes sense is the one that was laughing. It's only one. That's the only person, because that although I don't think any of them should have been unalive, so let's be clear about that. I feel like that situation, it makes at least somewhat sense because it gave eye for an eye. The others that were involved, it just gave follow the leader. And that's where the problem lies in all this, because you're following and you were not thinking, and now you're on the stand crying. So it's hard for people to just have sympathy. But the reason why I'm glad this situation is playing out is because it's showing these young gangbangers out here, these ones that's watching not STV, Zeus, and all these type things, thinking it's cute to be running up the streets, fighting, tussling, popping, ish, and all that. Keep doing that and see where it gets you. This is why, of course, I cover these networks. I know y'all, but this is why these networks, it's not good, because negative behavior now is getting rewarded. So if the youth does not get told that negative behavior does not get rewarded in real life, unless you're on a freaking TV show, an app show, let's be clear, an app. You're not on TV, you're on an app. You're on a streaming platform. Unless you're on a streaming platform, you're not going to gain anything from it. Okay? And you may get punished. That's why, and I said in the recent video I uploaded, some of y'all were siding with ET, but what she did was like the stupidest thing ever, because both of y'all could have landed behind bars. So you're an idiot. Squabbling her in the middle of a hotel lobby. Like, you know how stupid you look? And a reunion is coming up. And not only that, you could have asked her to meet you somewhere, even though she wouldn't have did it, but still a reunion is coming up. Like, that to me was very idiotic. Anybody defending that, like, you lack like common sense. Because why would you want to go to jail for free when y'all just was stumbling and squabbling for months? That's the idiotic thinking that gets people in situations like a Rashad. Now, I will say, at least he was cousins to Davion, right? At least they were cousins. Now, Sean, you was just a plumb fool, because you, like, he's the dumbest one of them all to me. Like, it don't even make no sense when you even be around them niggas, straight up. Like, what were you even doing around? At least he was the cousin of the nigga. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, y'all, let me know what y'all think down below. And have y'all been following it along like I have? Because this case to me is very interesting, because rarely do we see a lot of people that commit crimes like this have the amount of emotion that they do once they are brought to justice and they hear, family talk and everything like that. Rarely do we kind of see that in real time. So I feel like it was a little refreshing to see that. And it teaches like people a huge lesson that's in this lifestyle, that this too could be you. All right, so back to the blue news, y'all. It looks as if Chrisean has been questioned as to why she ended up linking with Blue. She recently was questioned by Danza. Now, y'all know the only person that Chrisean really do interviews with like that, especially on the tube, is Danza. Okay, so Danza was low-key trying to press her like, hey, why did you decide to link up with Blue after, he denied Junior on Jason Lee's podcast?
Mistakes so they don't happen again. Because when men, especially us as men, when we get access too early, we feel like the first thing we know within ourselves is we could do that shit again. We could definitely do it again. If she's cool with me an hour later, I could do it again. I'll do it next week, and I'll do it the week after.
So I should have waited a year?
No, I'm not saying wait a year. I'm just saying,
like, I ain't gonna hold you. I waited 5 months. Like, and I
the
waited.
interview that came out.
I looked
When
up
did that
and
interview
5
come
months
out?
went past. Like, I'm like, okay.
You
And
waited
then
like
I started
4
looking at
days after
myself.
that
Am I
interview
doing this
came
out
out.
of resentment? Am I doing this like, am I evil? Like, I start looking at myself. Am I evil? You feel me?
Yeah, but you gotta, if you're saying that you love yourself, you gotta love yourself enough to know that a little bit of time is okay. Yes, you did 4 or 5 months, but you did it like 4 or 5 days after that interview came out, and that's where all the concern was.
Oh, the interview. I don't even know what he be on like that. Like, that's the other thing. Like, I'm gonna be so honest. I be like my tags is not, what's the name, unless I authorize them. I don't see none of that. Every time I scroll, it's always
Let me guess, she gonna say it's Bible verses and God's scriptures and holy hands.
Bible stuff or sermons, or like my algorithm is not chaos.
But you still know what happened, and that's what I'm saying is like that moment right there.
And what bothers me with Chrisean is she feels like just because she can dilute negative stuff, that negative stuff is not happening. That is avoiding issue right there. And I hate people that do stuff like that. Just because you're avoiding and you're not seeing it doesn't mean it's not happening. I hate when people do stuff like that because that's how issues end up happening. And you ended up in situations that you do because you're not addressing or handling the problem. You're just avoiding it and acting like it's not happening. Now, somebody else who got looped into a problem is Nevaeh. So y'all, they done call CPS on Naveah. If y'all don't know, Naveah's son is also with her while she's at Blue's residence, while she's on Twitch. Shout out to Naveah. She's been taking Twitch very seriously. Sister Girl has not missed a day of streaming. Okay, that is commitment from somebody who's on Twitch. Shameless plug. Make sure y'all go over there and follow, babes. We on Twitch later tonight. Okay, we watching Rocky Bad's interview, y'all. It's gonna be a good one. She's consistent. You feel me? Like it's not easy being over there. So shout out to her, right? They started calling CPS on her and her son, y'all. They pulled up to the house and she couldn't figure out how his address ended up getting leaked. I got news for you, Nevaeh. Okay. Blueface is a public figure who has a public name, and that is on public record. You can be able to find his residence anywhere.
It's so sad though. Like they've seen how good of a great mother I am. How wonderful of a great mother I am. I'm sorry that y'all don't be really having your kids. I'm sorry that y'all don't be with your children. I'm sorry that y'all don't take good care of your children. Y'all rather just fling them off. I'm not that woman. Sorry. No, they know. They know exactly what's going on. They know a lot of people are envy and rude. Oh, and they checked his mouth and see no mark in there. Up, down, all that. You guys really need to stop that. For real. Like, y'all really need help. If he's like, and then it's the fact that I don't even know why he felt comfortable to be around a motherfucker that even linked his motherfucking address to it. That
Okay, it caused her a lot of stress. She was very upset, you guys, when she realized that CPS was there to check on her situation and see what's wrong with her child. She came in there storming there, cussing up the viewers, and was very angry because she feels like it's very hypocritical of people to call CPS on her when CPS needs to really be called. And in my opinion, she was kind of insinuating, trying to throw shots at Chrisean, but she didn't really have the goal and the audacity to do that. Okay. Anyways, y'all, let me know what y'all think down below about this video. Once again, live on Twitch later tonight. I will announce the time when it's time to go live. And we're out, babies. Bye.